here. DL Hall joining us, the big prize on the other side of the Corbin Burnes trade, now a new member of the Milwaukee Brewers. DL, appreciate the time, man. Great to have you on, and take us through the play-by-play of your life on Thursday night.
So I was actually headed over to, or thanks for having me. First of all, I was headed over to my uncle's house. We were actually cooking dinner to get ready to go on a little family fishing trip the next day, and I got the call from Mike. He FaceTimed me to tell me, and I was actually in the car with some family, and I was like, I'll call him right back. And then I got a text from him that said, hey, reach out to me ASAP. And once I got that text, I kind of had a feeling that something had went down. And then he broke the news to me. Kind of spent the whole night just kind of trying to come to the realization that I was getting ready to head to Arizona instead of Florida. So it was pretty crazy. It took a little while to settle in.
Did you get any fish that day, or did you cancel the fishing trip?
No, so I was thinking about canceling so I could, start preparing to go to Arizona and stuff. And my family, my uncle, and he was like, "No, just come. It'll be good. Clear your head, whatever." My agent said the same thing. He's like, "Nah, go enjoy it." So I was actually like out of service the entire next day, and I know I just had people calling me and calling me, so it was kind of stressful, but I enjoyed it as best I could and caught a few fish.
Nice. Are you in a duck blind right now?
No, I'm actually out at my farmhouse, and it's actually still under construction. So I'm out here right now.
It looks like you're in a duck with the particle board. It looks like you might be in a duck blind. I'm waiting for you to pop up with your 12 gauge and start firing rounds up.
I wish I wish I was. I wish I was.
See, there you go.
I like it.
Speak of the devil, right on cue. Look how good we are. Now, if you grow your beard like that, then we've got some action.
And it's DL Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, first off, congratulations. 10 weeks. You're engaged now, right?
Yes, sir. About 2 months.
2 months ago. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Let the significant other take care of everything else. You just worry about baseball, man. There's a lot of crap that she's gonna be like, you want to do this? You're like, yes. And then there's a lot of indecision. So take your time with everything and enjoy baseball for the moment.
Yeah, I told her to take the reins on that, and I just say yes, ma'am.
That's that's a smart man right there. You already know. Now you get to go back to starting pitching here. It seems like it's something that you've always wanted to do. How are you going to prepare now? Off season's pretty much done with. Is you going to prepare any differently, or just going to go about your business, understanding maybe in spring training I'll have to let it go a little longer than usual?
I kind of prepared this entire off season to be a starter, because I was, planning on at least competing in spring with Baltimore, trying to get in that rotation as well. Didn't really know how that was going to shake out, but I've been training this off season to be a starter and trying to get stretched out and doing a little more cardio than I probably would have being in the bullpen. So I've kind of been preparing for it, and I feel ready.
Which one do you prefer? You prefer starting? I'm assuming you prefer starting over relieving?
It's a hard thing for me. For me, I being in the bullpen, I kind of learned that it was for the mental side. Being in the bullpen, it fit me pretty well. I like to go in there, and just get after it. So it was a little bit more, of an adrenaline rush, and you got to play a little bit more chess as a starter. So I enjoy doing that as well. Don't really have a preference. I just enjoy pitching in the big leagues.
Okay, so I was looking at your career totals. Your highest innings ever is 94. It was back in the Sally League in 2018. Okay, so you haven't pitched. It's supposed to have been around 40 to 50 innings the last few years.
Well, they baby them in the
I understand
minors.
that. So, okay, let's say you're a starter at the major league level. Brewers come to you, say you made the team. Congratulations. Can you pitch 150 innings this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that I can. I feel like I've prepared myself for whatever workload that they put on me this year. I've worked my tail off this off season to get back into starter shape and be able to cover those innings and stay healthy. So hopefully that works out. But yeah, whatever workload that they hand to me, I feel ready.
Good stuff there. talk about Joey Ortiz. He got traded with you. It kind of makes it a little easier for you. Have you guys talked about the whole situation about being traded and what the next steps are, how awesome this is going to be, or like, oh man, what are we up for? You got any buddies over there? Talk to us about, what the conversations were with Joey.
Yeah, so I didn't know, the deal, what the exact deal was when I first spoke to our the GM over, with the Orioles. He just told me it was a big trade, and then so I waited about an hour, and found out that it was Joey going with me, and obviously I was super excited. I've played the past 2 years with Joey. Um, super. I would say he's honestly one of the more overlooked guys that we had. Obviously Gunner's a great player, Jackson Holliday's a great player, but Joey is, an unbelievable player, unbelievable glove. Probably one of my most favorite guys that I've had play behind me. He's an outstanding defender and also can really swing it. So I was excited to be having him, have him going with me. Definitely made me a lot more comfortable. We were excited, to be going together. So we talked about it a good bit.
In your young career, you might think about getting traded and all that stuff. You never know that if it's actually going to happen or not. Are you kind of glad that you got traded to a team that won the NL Central last year and not to some Bobo cellar dweller team?
Yeah, so I didn't keep up with Milwaukee much before this, so I didn't have a ton of I don't know a ton of guys over there. I played against Garrett Mitchell, some in some of the All American games stuff in high school, and then I played against Bryce Terrain coming up a pretty good bit. And me and him have talked a good bit when we play against each other in the minor leagues. So I know him pretty well, but other than that, I don't really know many guys or didn't know much about it. Obviously, I know they've won like I think 5 of the last 7 years they've won their division. So that's super exciting. It definitely helps to know that I'm going to another young squad that has some talent and can play ball.
Has the manager called you yet? Because if you don't know the name of the manager, then that would be my first question. But has he called you, and what do you think of him?
Yeah. They I got to speak with Murph and with the pitching coach as well, and they did a great job in making me feel welcome and just making me feel comfortable with the whole situation and definitely made me excited.
When you talk to the manager and you talk to a new organization, I'm always curious about this because I was obviously a catcher, not a pitcher. What changes? So when they call you and they say, "Okay, we're expecting you to compete for a starting rotation job in spring training," do they say, "Hey, we want to modify your workouts, we want to modify your pitching plan," or do you just go with the pitching plan that you've been using throughout your career so far?
For me, it was they when they called me, they asked me what I had been, how my training had been going, what I was kind of preparing for, where I was at in that training situation, and luckily, like I said, I was preparing to be a starter. They want me to be a starter, so I feel like it wasn't too big of a task to try. I didn't have to really change my routine or anything. I kind of could just keep doing what I was doing and gonna head out to Phoenix a little bit early, so that I can kind of get my feet wet, get comfortable, and see what they got for me.
How are you going to, because a knock against you, yes, you throw a billion miles an hour. How are you going to go from relieving to starting, cutting down your walks? Do you think that's something that will help? Or do you feel like when you're in the bullpen, you said you just kind of went out there and you were just getting after it, kind of hell bent on, throwing the ball over the plate? Now, do you think how as a starter will it change your command, and how can you improve it?
For me, I feel like coming up through the minor leagues, when I was starting, I feel like I battled a lot of the walks and things that I battled in the minor leagues seem to come from me trying to find that happy medium of being able to save myself for 6 or 7 innings and obviously not blow out early in games and kind of made me a little bit more passive than I should be and kind of lose that competitive edge because you're kind of thinking about, all right, I need to cover innings. And then you end up, doing the opposite, and you're walking guys, and you're costing yourself more pitches because you're not as aggressive. So for me, and I told my former pitching coach this, when I went to the bullpen, I feel like it really helped me even on the starting side just to get that, aggressiveness back and not really have to overthink. Just get the aggressive side back of just going right at guys. And so I think bringing that back into starting will be a huge thing for me. That way, just not overthinking, not trying to think about getting into those 6, 7 innings, just going right at guys and let it take care of itself.
Let me ask you this: are you, or well, are you? No, you're going to be there in spring training. Is there somebody you're going to look forward to seeing on the Brewers that you might want to take a note or two from, or are you just ready to rock over there? Like, have you talked to any other guys?
No, I talked to Terang. He was like I said, he was one of the only guys that I really knew over there. So I spoke with him a little bit, but honestly, don't really know a whole lot about any of the other guys at all.
Hey, DL, I know you're tight with a lot of the young Orioles that obviously you came up in the minor leagues with, and then, many of you in the major leagues. And so you leave some of them. Do you at least take some comfort and happiness in the fact that some of your friends are probably going to get rich quicker because of the changing of the guard there? I mean, obviously there's a new super billionaire that's going to take over the Orioles. That deal looks all but done. It has to get approved. But, I remember when we had Adam Frazier on, for example, and we've had many of your teammates, and he's like, hey, we heard when ownership said they weren't going to re-sign the young players. So that's all out the window now.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting for those guys. I basically, from 18 years old to now, I've been with those guys, and a lot of great talent over there, especially all those young guys. Some incredible baseball players. So, yeah, to see that for them is obviously huge. I'm excited for each and every one of those guys. They're still, very close friends of mine, obviously, and yeah, definitely super excited to see them get a chance to make some money.
Is it bittersweet because the team was kind of coming up now and just really hit its stride, making the playoffs this past season and winning over 100 games? Is it bittersweet for you, or are you kind of already more focused on getting yourself back in rotation with a team that's coming off a division title?
For me, with the first 24 hours, I felt like, it was definitely bittersweet to think about leaving all my guys and what they've built over there. But once I, got past that, I'm super excited. I know that, like you said, Milwaukee won their division. They got some really good ball players, so I'm just looking forward to competing and give it my best shot wherever I'm at.
Last one from me, and I think from all of us. So give us one name on the O's that we need to keep an eye on. Obviously, don't give me like a Jackson Holiday, but give me someone else because there's so many prospects there. Who's a guy that you were watching on the bigs or making their way through AA or AAA that we should keep an eye on?
So I actually got this same question earlier today on a radio talk show, and obviously the farm system over there is super loaded. They have a lot of young guys coming up that are really good ball players. But I'm gonna stick with my answer earlier. I feel like they're not with the Orioles anymore, but I feel like one that was definitely overlooked is Joey Ortiz. He's still a top 100 prospect and things like that, but obviously Jackson Holiday and Gunnar are two outstanding players, and so kind of blocking Joey a little bit, and so I'm just excited to see him play every day and get the chance to watch him show everyone what he's really capable of at the big league level.
Is this going to be known as the DL Hall trade or the Joey Ortiz trade?
I think both of us have a great chance to stamp
You got
our
to
name.
choose. Got to choose.
Well, I hope that we both have a ton of success, but I hope that my name is definitely remembered for sure.
Nice.
I
Good
like
answer.
that.
Good answer.
We'll finish with this on the goodbye. John in the chat said, don't have to worry about weather issues in Milwaukee with that retractable roof. Kratz, you can tell him. It's pretty nice.
Real nice.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I thought of when I heard Milwaukee. I'm from South Georgia, so we don't get too much cold weather down here. So I immediately thought about the weather and then found out they had a retractable roof, and that made me feel a lot better.
Dude, doesn't mess with you, especially for you as a starter. Like when you're home, never going to have to worry, oh man, are we going to start on time? I mean, that matters for your routine.
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
I like that. Well, DL, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks for swinging by right after the deal. Congratulations on the new world you're about to enter in Arizona with the Milwaukee Brewers in spring training. And we'll talk to you down the road, all right?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me.